never tired of the Aaron Rodgers question. It's always out there, and the situation is that he and Mike McCarthy have been talking on a regular basis. That would lead people to think, if they're talking that often, why are they even talking if Aaron Rodgers is not serious about coming back?
Right.
That would tell you that obviously he's strongly entertaining the idea of coming back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think everyone right now within the Steelers organization is cautiously optimistic that he'll be back. We never fully know with Aaron Rodgers, but that much activity and conversations and talking about what the future could look like clearly is an indication that he's serious about playing. My understanding also is it has nothing to do with a contract that should not be difficult to work out. This is Aaron Rodgers waiting to announce whether he will or won't play. And again, I think it's a positive that he's been as in touch with Mike McCarthy as he's been recently.
Putting a timeline on anything Aaron Rodgers does is a fool's errand. You wouldn't want to do that because he operates at his own pace and does his own things. And last year we thought maybe in March or April we'd know, and it wasn't until after the draft. I would think with the draft being in Pittsburgh, and I would think with the constant dialogue with Mike McCarthy that this year it would be appropriate from both sides to have that answer before they have another pick in the top 20 in the NFL draft. I would think that with a coach that he spent that many years with, out of mutual respect for each other, that we would get that answer before mid-April.
But it really doesn't matter because even if he weren't going to come back, it's not like the Pittsburgh Steelers need to know by the first night of the draft because I don't think a lot of people believe and expect that they're going to be picking a quarterback in the first round.
Some people have said Ty Simpson.
I don't think people expect them to take a quarterback in the first round.
Can I add something here?
Yeah.
I sat next to Mike McCarthy at the breakfast today, and as much as the questions were about Rodgers, said he would have taken Will Howard before the 6th round last year. Says he loves what he's seen on tape from Will Howard. Says Will Howard didn't take a single snap last year, but everything he has seen from him, he's very encouraged by. Maybe he's hedging his bet a little bit, or maybe he's building up Howard in case the entire rug is pulled from him on Rodgers at the last second. But Will Howard seems to have a fan in Mike McCarthy as well.
Okay, let's talk about this. The Will Howard conversation is always going to be interesting. Anytime you have a quarterback that has a lack of visibility that a Will Howard has in terms of the discussions, what we've seen from him at the NFL level, etc., they always become this the ultimate representation of a mystery box of what if, like, he could be great, he could and so anytime I'm going to hear conversations about like, oh, this is what Mike McCarthy said, it's like Mike McCarthy doesn't know it, this I would have drafted him higher than the 6th draft, like all that stuff sounds great and all that type of stuff is so easy to say. It's so easy to say when you're at breakfast eating pancakes and bacon, talking to, a bunch of people who are, TV personas, like it's like, you know what I mean, like that's easy, that's so easy to say, especially when you're not even part of the decision, right? Like someone like Mike McCarthy wasn't part of the decision process, so it cost him nothing to say like I love Will Howard, I would have drafted him first overall if it was up to me, right? And it was like, well, it wasn't up to you and you weren't there and none of this conversation actually matters. Now, I'm not saying that Will Howard can't be a legitimate, genuine quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just totally and willingly admit that it's just the ultimate mystery box of like, I don't. No, man. Like I don't know. And honestly, someone like a Mike McCarthy, you're just you always love the potential of a player. You always love the idea that you can mold a player. Anytime any coach, any great coach, any competent coach is going to see a player with just a base level of skill and just feel that he can do something with that, right? He can mold them. He can elevate. He can help them grow, evolve, and be something. No coach is really just going to be like, well, I can only work with super talented players. Like, then that's kind of a weird perspective from a coach. Don't get me wrong, coaches recognize talent and understand the importance of talent and a base level of talent, but if you're a great coach, if you believe in yourself, you're going to believe in your ability to elevate talent, right? So all of that stuff is so par for the course. We talked about this, I guess, like months ago at this point of this idea that like they actually are genuinely high on Will Howard and that they would like Aaron to be here to be the quarterback for the Steelers and have Will Howard really be the next, the next one, right? And this is where I went on my whole rant saying like, well, that is where you have to trust Mike McCarthy. That is why you went out and hired Mike McCarthy to see the value to make that conclusion. Will Howard can be our quarterback of the future, or listen, he's a good kid, blah 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 blah, can you no room to gr. Ow, but like he's not our quarterback of the future like that. That is why you pay Mike McCarthy to be your head coach. He has to be a major voice in leading that discussion and decision. The whole thing that he talks to Aaron Rodgers every couple of days, like that's kind of funny, because like what, I don't even know what that means honestly. Like when you like, what are you talking about right now every couple of days? Hey bud, what's going on? Laughter. Catch that Spurs game, it was a good gamema, he's a heck of a player, right? You like, what do you even, so you see we got someone in free. Well, I guess I shouldn't say we, I guess I should say the Steelers did, the door is still open. Like what are the conversations? Even if they're talking strategy, what are they even talking about? What strategy? What conversations are they having every couple of days there? It's not like there's necessarily new information, right? I could understand maybe right when free agency hit and all that type of stuff, but like or every couple days he's checking in. So Aaron, you getting any closer to making your decision? No, Mike, not right now. Okay, bud. I'll talk to you later. A couple days later. Hey bud, I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm not trying to, be needy or anything like that. I'm just curious. How you feeling about football in 2026? Like I don't know. I tease like what? Like what is it's why some of those little quotes, some of those little sound bites, I'm just like I don't know. He's in a very positive place. We'll just continue to engage again. Like what? What would you say in any other situation? Seriously, like what other comments are there to really be made? Well, Aaron is just in a weird place right now. And you know what, Pete, I'm going to tell you that right now. Can you pass the syrup? Yeah, Aaron. I don't know, man. He's in a weird place. Kind of negative right now. Will Howard kind of sucks as a quarterback. And yeah, I don't know. Oh, is the bacon good, too? Yeah. Can I get a little bit of those bacon? Thanks. But like it's just what is conversation? What is take, Like it's just I don't know. Just it all sounds silly to me. My gut just tells me Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback. There is some belief in a Will Howard. Nothing strong, nothing crazy, nothing insane. Not this idea of this guy's about to blow everyone away, but kind of like alright, there's something there. There's a little something there. Don't know what it is quite yet, but there's something there. We want Aaron back. We believe Aaron is indeed coming back. For whatever reason why Aaron typically doesn't like to have this all locked in right now. Again, when you talk to other retired veteran, quarterbacks, they all talk about kind of like when you wait you get to deal with a lot less nonsense and none of it matters from a football perspective, etc., etc., etc. Again, I don't know what it's like to be, in my 40s and playing in the NFL and all the stuff that you have to do when you're officially signed to a team and the obligations that you have. It's like, I don't know. And I don't know how much it matters. I don't know how much I should expect Aaron to do versus not do, like I don't know at this point. I really don't. And I think that's just something, it's always easy to be like, well, Patrick Mahomes does this or Josh. And I agree with that. And they're in their 20s and they're, rising in their career. And again, I'd love to have someone, no matter how old you are, the Kirk Cousins, the Aaron Rodgers, the whoever's of the NFL, still, still treat it like you're 25, but like I don't know if that's realistic. I honestly don't know. I really don't. In my mind, it seems to make sense, but like I don't actually know. I don't know. It might just be like you don't need to be part of any of this. None of this matters really, Like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like I don't know. I really don't. And that's okay. But to me, my gut just tells me Aaron is going to be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do know that I made a whole vid. Oh, talking about this. I think it was mainly more through like a Jets lens because of who they're trying to get, potentially Ty Simpson, because that is the quarterback that technically the Steelers would potentially be able to draft, I guess, at that pick. And so it does have some interesting, repercussions, dominoes, that could fall whether he's available or he's not available, whether the Steelers pick him or they don't. Like it's just kind of an interesting kind of conversation with that regard. But I mean, it does feel like if they want to draft a quarterback, maybe this year wouldn't be the way and it would be next year, because best case scenario, they win a lot of games with Aaron. So there we go, success. Or worst case scenario, they don't. Now they even have a better draft pick, and then they theoretically can draft an even better quarterback in a deeper quarterback draft next season, unless you think a Ty Simpson actually really is a genuine prospect and that you're not overdrafting him, etc. Again, that's where you trust Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is like, bro, Ty Simpson's available. We are getting him 100%. We like it's where you got to just trust the coach. You got to trust the actual offensive mind in the room to guide you. You know that I will emphasize that continuously as we get closer and closer and closer to the actual decision making itself, because that's who you're trusting at this point. That's where the trust has to come from, and the decision really ultimately has to come from. And when it comes from those people, whether it's right or wrong, it's just, for me, it's easier to sleep at night. It's easier for me to understand the right people were making the decision. They don't always make the right decision, but the right people were making the decision. But yeah, I think the Steelers are in a little bit of a murky place right now. It's a little hard to see as clearly as you would want, but I don't think it's in a bad place. I think they made a lot of really interesting positive moves depending on what they do with that 20th, I think it's the 20th pick, right? Will be really, really fascinating and interesting. I believe Aaron will be back. I actually believe that Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers can genuinely have success. I think Mike McCarthy is actually a pretty darn good coach. I don't think he's great. Don't think he's elite. Don't think he's special. Don't think he's out there coaching circles around, defensive coordinators. But I think he does have a stabilizing and a growth mindset in terms of what he can do with an offense. I think he's proven that, whether it was with the Packers, whether it was with the Cowboys. I think that's very true across multiple quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, different owners and GMs and cultures. Like I think he's earned that right to have at least the respect of Mike McCarthy knows what he's doing. Again, no one's celebrating him as like an all-time great coach, but he knows what he's doing. He's worth listening to, right? He's worth listening to. And I am curious to see what an Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy in 2026 looks like. I'm interested to see what that looks like at this phase of both of their careers. It all does still come down to Aaron and how receptive Aaron is and what he's looking to do and how he manages his emotions and his, how he shares his thoughts and feelings and whatnot. So, the Aaron Rodgers story. Everyone, I guess, apparently loves to talk about it, but I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers, Will Howard. What's the story there? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get some discussions. Let's get some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.